The year was July 2020. This was the start of my short-lived film stage. The million-dollar question was, why did I decide to fully go into shooting film? At the time, it was something different. I was stuck at home. It was something new and it brought me joy. And with that joy came a very high price tag, something I'll get into a little bit later. So why did I do this? And it came down to two words, and that was instant gratification. Instant gratification is defined as the need to immediately fill an urge or a desire. We live in a fast-paced world, like it or not, and we all have information and technology at the palm of our hands. We have ultimately an overload of what is instant gratification. We forget patience, we forget stillness, and we ultimately forget the ability to take a moment in for what it is in that time. There was a newfound focus on framing, on shadows, on capturing just the moment in front of me. The way I describe it is, think of the world moving at a very fast pace. In the second the camera goes up to the eye, your eye goes through the viewfinder, and your finger goes on the shutter, the world pauses, everything slows down, and it's you, the camera, and the frame. And the second you hit that shutter and capture that frame, that pause instantly ramps up to normal speed, and you're back into the fast-paced world. And that's what I really described film to be. And ultimately, I used it as a tool to practice something, and practice something that is really important to me, and practice something that plays a role in the way I create today, and that is patience. Patience was something I knew I lacked, and film ultimately forced me to practice it. I was able to practice the framing. I was able to practice where shadows were coming. I was able to practice where light was hitting. I was able to practice all of that at such a slow pace. Being able to practice that has really helped me out nowadays when I am creating videos or I am taking photos. What made me practice it was the fact that you have one shot to get the moment. You have 32 shots in a roll of film, give or take, and you are literally taking each shot, and each shot literally costs money. But with that whole thing, there was a nostalgic feel to it. I was going through a bunch of film photos that I've taken over the years just to make this video, and there was a nostalgic feel to it. There's something about the color, there's something about the wear and tear and kind of the rips it looks like are in the photo. It kind of looks almost just uneasy with a film photo, and there's something so satisfying about it. Taking your time for your shot, taking your time for your framing, and really making sure you're capturing the one thing you went out to capture. There is not instant gratification anymore. There is just a nice deep breath and a feeling of polish before you move on to that of the next shot. Now, like I said earlier, I don't shoot film anymore. I don't remember the last time I shot film. As much as I loved it, as much as it became a hobby and an outlet for me, it was something that became too expensive for me to maintain. So what's the moral of this story? Why am I talking about something that I did over 4 years ago? Well, it always comes back to the same thing I always talk about, and that is the creative process and creative freedom. It's built off of trying new things, and that is the importance I want to touch on. You might not stick to something, but if you try it for a good amount of time, you realize ways that it has benefited you, and you can move that into things you're passionate about in that time. For me, I took film, I did it for 3 or 4 years, and I moved away from it and took so many aspects of it into the filmmaking process and what I'm really into now, which is telling long form stories and really my life experience. Let me know down in the comments if you have ever shot film and what you thought about it and how long you've shot it, and maybe even if you still shoot. But with that, I'm trying to get to 10K subscribers by the end of the year, and with your guys' help, we can get there. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's put this mic down. Let's go out and shoot. Go be creative.